Hello, 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 hello. Welcome to Royal Sussex Live. Okay, let me see who was here first. Uh, hmm. Wow, you guys have been having quite a conversation. Helen Marmon, thank you so much for being here first. There are no prizes, but I appreciate it. And Judy Matassit was here second. And let's see, there's Wanda MV, Stacy Crenshaw, and a host of friends and others. All right. Yalipi, let me see. Huh. Nope. Yalipi, I don't know anything about that. That sounds ominous. Let me get some slides up here. Okay, I don't need that. Oh, there we go. And let me see her. Okay. Yeah, we're good. Yeah, let me get my slides up. And there we go. Slides are coming. All right. Elaine Parker, thank you so much for the super sticker. There we are. Let me get rid of this blank screen. Oh, there we go. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. I love when a plan comes together. Hey, Sherry Ware. Connie Bomber! Hey, Connie Bomber. And let's see, there's Lydia Washington, Chef Sandy Love, Big Mama. I don't know why every time I say Chef Sandy Love, you know what I always think of? Get Christy Love. Oh boy. I tell you, you know you're old when you remember the pilot from the TV series Get Christy Love. You guys remember that? You under arrest, sugar. That was her catchphrase. You under arrest, sugar. I still remember that pilot episode. Oh man, that was very touching. That was when Made for TV was amazing. Oh, thank you so much, Chef Sandy Love. And thank you so much for watching Royal Sussex. And thank you, Annalane Parker, for being members of Royal Sussex. Greatly, greatly appreciate it. Okay, so let's get on with it, shall we? That, of course, is the People's Princess, our dear Princess Diana, taken from us way too soon, thanks to that mysterious and still unexplained, unnecessary, of course, but so tragic tunnel in Paris. That accident in the tunnel in Paris, blinding flashes, a white Fiat, unsatisfactory. Someone who was so drunk that he shouldn't have been driving, but yet he managed to stay bent over for a nice a period of time, tying his shoe, walking in a straight line. Very sketchy. But anyway, let's not get on with that one. But oh man, it's just one of those events from history where you wish you could have sounded the alarm that morning and maybe it wouldn't have happened, makes you feel helpless. But yeah, that is one that I won't ever forget. Miranda Rios, thank you for being here. Anyway, today is World AIDS Day. December 1st is World AIDS Day, which is so confusing because I don't believe it was always on December the 1st. I thought it was a different day, but maybe I'm wrong. I didn't think it was December 1st, but anyway, it is World's AIDS Day. And how far has the world come since we thought that was going to be the plague that wiped everybody out? Instead, it has become a chronic illness thanks to medical science. Um, as far as I know, there still isn't any type of vaccine for it, but um, the medications that modern science has come up with, modern medical science has come up with, is incredible. People who once thought it was a death sentence are getting old and getting fat and collecting their retirements. And yeah, it's a much different time than it was. So yeah, um, cheers to medical science. Um, and of course, you cannot think World AIDS Day and not think of the likes of Princess Diana, Elizabeth Taylor, and a host of other people who either um, raised funding, raised awareness. I tell you, one person we don't have to think of, and that's, of course, Ronald Wilson Reagan. There's a list of reasons why I'm not a fan of Ronald Reagan. During a time when there were so many people afraid, when there were so many people that could have used the type of intervention that the federal government was capable of, it took a very long time before the administration even mentioned the A word. It took a long time before they released any funding, if ever. I don't recall if they ever released any type of funding, but it just goes to show when you hear people say what a great time it was for the country with Ronald Reagan and all of the patriotism and stuff, there's a few things I could think of with Ronald Reagan that says different. But I guess if you were able to prosper during that period and you don't care about humanity at large, yeah, it was the best of times, but it was also the worst of times. It was a not a global pandemic, but it was it was something that did not need to happen. So um, unfortunately, they don't associate that tragedy with his name enough for my taste. But I'm a bit militant about the subject because it was just so unnecessary. People were just so busy watching Dynasty like I was, but still, doesn't hurt to have a conscience. And of course, Princess Diana, who visited AIDS patients and with her bare hand reached out to touch them. And you can't give her credit enough for the fact that there was so many people that were afraid until they noticed Princess Diana bravely and unselfishly went to what is what was the modern day equivalent of the leper colony, and she communicated with them, sat close to them with cameras in tow. Now you'll notice the guy on the right side, the camera is to his back. He agreed to meet with the princess, but he did not want his face shown. There were some people who were estranged from their families because the stigma and the fear, of course, of AIDS. They were estranged from their families, but one of the people she visited, his family saw him on television, and thanks to Diana, they were able to connect again before that young man passed away. And yeah, it's those kind of things that um, kind of like with Ronald Reagan, they celebrate him for things that he should have done and did not do, and the stuff that he, you know, just happened to be there as president, and he gets credit for it. And then Diana, you have a royal family that is actively burying her contribution to humanity with the aid of her eldest son. Um, yeah, it's very frustrating for me. So, Anne Gormley says, I was a AIDS nurse at the beginning. I can tell you how awful, I'm sorry, I can't tell you how awful it was. At the time, there were no medications, and my patients suffered terribly. Yeah. Um, I understand. I had a couple of relatives that died, and it was horrific. It was horrific. It required the family to become very educated very fast, and I some very ordinary people learned a lot about things that they couldn't have even conceived would have been something to learn about. But yeah, it was horrific, and it was a plague. It was like a plague, and there was so much insensitivity and so much ignorance about it. And fortunately, over time, people became more aware, and that changed everything. So, um, anyway, and thank you so much for being on the forefront because it's as I always say, there are so many nurses who have put themselves in harm's way, spending the majority of the time with patients, just like with this pandemic, the global pandemic, the last global pandemic, who have put themselves in harm's way and unselfishly was there to give aid and comfort to the patients that, in some cases, may not be there tomorrow, may not make it till the next week. I had a friend that was rescued by a nurse during this last pandemic. And she said the nurse would not take no for an answer. She worked with her and made sure she was able to get back home to her family. Um, and that bought her more time. But she was, she had some other problems and eventually passed away. But she wasn't even at the hospital because of that. But one of the doctors was ill, and then she became ill. She said she know when he coughed, she feel like that's when it happened, and this nurse just would not let her slip away. She made her move around and such, get on her stomach because that was one of the ways that people were able to breathe, and that saved her. That gave her more time with her family. It bought her at least another year. I'll say that. B. Martim, thank you so much for the super sticker, and thank you so much for being here tonight. Miranda Rios, likewise, thank you for the super sticker, and thank you so much for being here tonight. So I'm probably going to play my video at the end, um, where Harry talks about his mother's contribution. But you can see right here, this plaque was unveiled on the 9th of April, 1987 by Her Royal Highness, the Princess of Wales, to mark the opening of the, what is it, Broderick something as a unit for the care of people with HIV infection. So there was the big question that day: will she wear gloves or won't she wear gloves? Will she even show up or won't she show up? The Queen was against it, Charles was against it. People thought that she should find something, shall we say, decidedly pleasant, something less controversial to do with her time, and she wouldn't hear of it. Um, she knew the risk. She that there was practically none for her as a individual, and so unless something bizarre happened, it was just not likely at all. And she understood that, and as she said, her motto was that people need to be loved. People want to know that they're loved, and so she went. And for that reason, I and so many others, she deserves as much praise as she can possibly get. Um, you just won't hear it from that institution. Oh, by the way, you guys, I just finished the. Well, actually, I got 1 hour left of the Endgame. I have 1 hour left. I'm almost done. It's very emotional, the book. I'm listening. Oh, speaking of the book, there was someone who sent, excuse me, who sent the book, the hardcover book, and I do believe it is at my mailbox. I haven't had a chance to get it yet. But if you did send the book and you expected me to receive the book, I believe it is there. And so I just need to go and get it at some point, and I shall. Still can't wait to see the hardcover. And also, of course, want to go back and look at certain parts of it, certain pages and chapters. I still would like to read to myself. So I am definitely going to do that. Plus, I do believe there are some photos in the book, so I'd like to see how that is. And of course, that will go with my All Things Sussex collection. So looking forward to grabbing it. Yeah. So again, thank you for the book. I do believe it is there, and I will retrieve it very soon. Uh, okay. So to continue, Harry and Meghan, a Netflix global event coming soon, only on Netflix. Well, of course, I cannot play the video because Netflix ain't playing with their copyright. But it is the anniversary of the first teaser, the first trailer, the first time we knew nothing was ever going to be the same. I'm so excited. I'm talking like Oprah Winfrey. What else would I do? But yeah, Connie Balmer, you know what? You hear the way I'm sounding? You know what I need, don't you? I need a Ricola. Let me see. I'm excited to try one of these purple ones. That's what I need. I need a Ricola. Connie Balmer sent me enough Ricolas to last me the entire winter. So try one of these purple ones. Guys, I'm telling you, if you have a cold, if you have any kind of throat, anything, Connie Balmer, what kind is this? It is Hollander Bluten Fleur de Ceru. It is good. And I feel so like everything has opened up. Telling you, Ricola has healing properties. Okay, let us move on. But yeah, so this is the anniversary of the trailer. I wonder if I can play the sound for it. I'm pretty sure I can do that without getting in trouble. But yeah, Netflix, they are very, very strict about their trailers. I think all of the squatties, all of the YouTubers shared it, and we all got in trouble. So let's see. But no, you know what? That music in the background may be copyrighted. I bet not. I love that dramatic music in the background. It just lets you know something big was coming. Okay, so I'm gonna leave that alone. Not gonna mess with it. But yeah, so happy anniversary, everybody. Now, let's get to a little shade, shall we? You know, I forgot to talk about this last night, right? I looked at the title from last night. I'm like, oh, yeah, the dress. So, the Princess of Wales channels Meghan in gown by one of Duchess's favorite designers. The label is renowned for its confidence boosting creations. Well, as you know, when it comes to royals, nobody has been rocking capes like the Duchess of Sussex. So, this rather baggy creation that she has on, and you do notice that the dress is puckering in a way that seems rather odd. Now, I don't want to make fun of anybody, but let me just say it. You know, and I know that you know that I know that you know that if there was in any way a situation where Megan's clothes doesn't seem like it was applied with um, glue sticks, that they would talk about it forever. And so, to be fair, it does not fit. It is. It looks a mess. Oh, I just looked down as I said that. I just looked down. Hot mess. Yeah, it looks a hot mess. So, um, don't know how that happened. You know, they were making this big fuss about Kate's revenge dress. Well, it looks like whoever her stylist is got revenge on her because, as said, it looks a hot mess. Now, I saw this, right? But I didn't hear this. I saw it, but I didn't hear it. I'm going to let you hear it. And this is something, let me preface it by saying this. You don't yell out questions to the royals. That rarely happens. And take a listen to this. Uh-oh, that's the wrong one. I'm sorry. Hold on. That's the one I'm going to share later.
Have you got a comment about Omid Scobie's books and websites?
Always be blessed.
Did you want the Piers Morgan show last night, Your Royal Highnesses? Right.
One more time. One more time.
Royal Highness, have you got a comment about Omid Scobie's books and websites?
Always be blessed.
Did you want the Piers Morgan show last night, Your Royal Highnesses? Right.
Your Royal Highnesses ain't trying to hear what you're saying. Your Royal Highnesses are trying to get the heck out of there. Now, William was so rattled that when actually they were both kind of shaken by it, and I'll show you why. I know that. Take a look at her face. You didn't really get a chance to see it clearly, but um, William is like giving her the signal to hurry up, right? And Kate, her face is, well, you know, as usual, her mouth is askew.
Have you got a comment about Omid Scobie's books?
Yeah. Okay. So without the sound, you can see they are hoofing it, trying to get in there. I mean, they legged it. He looked around and he's like, what's this? Oh, a confrontation. Let me hurry up. Come on here, girl. Let's get in there. So back over here, not only do you see the tension in her face, but notice instead of taking her hand, he grabs her by the wrist. He is literally grabbing her around the wrist like he's leading a 5'9", 5'10" toddler. He is leading her by the wrist. Now, one could say that that was just by chance, but no, that was because they were rattled by the yelling from the photographers. And of course, they want to know about Omid Scobie's book. What about Omid Scobie's book? What do you have to say about Omid Scobie's book while you're channeling Meghan by wearing that dress? And I believe the dress is by, was it called Sophia? That's the company that makes that red dress that Meghan wore to that event. Yeah. So right here it says Scobie's defense unravels. I told you guys it's all hands on deck to try to dispute, to dismantle, to dissect Omid Scobie's book. Britain's finest. I'm sorry, not that. Scobie's defense unravels. So remember what I said. The headline matters more than anything else. So long as they set the pace of your thoughts with that headline, they've already done their job. Arthur said for days that the names of the two royals accused of discussing Archie's skin color were never in his book. But last night, the Dutch translator told the Mail the names were there in black and white. You know what? I'm not going to dispute that. It doesn't mean that Omid Scobie deliberately gave those names to the Dutch. That doesn't mean that Omid Scobie is guilty of having deliberately shared the names. It could have been anyone in the process from point A to B that was guilty of sharing the names. It doesn't mean that Omid Scobie did anything wrong. Right here at the bottom, it says Omid Scobie's Dutch translator last night said the names of the two royals caught in the racism row were in the manuscript she was given to work on. Oh, God, that's small. Let me see what I can do with that. Sakia Peters insists she did not add the names, flatly contradicting Scobie's claim that he had never written a version identifying the pair. As a translator, I translate what is in front of me, said Miss Peters. From her home in Arnhem, the name of the royals were there in black and white. I did not add them. I just did what I was paid to do. What she was paid to do, huh? And that was translate the book from English. This suggests the Dutch publisher was sent an early draft of Endgame by Scobie people before the lawyers. Okay. Is it okay if I say this was just a misunderstanding, that somebody made a mistake? But if they're going to try to spin it as though Omid did something deliberately, that I do not believe. I just do not believe it. When you're publishing and you have the lawyers go over it, I'm pretty sure the publishing company does not want to be sued. Omid Scobie does not. Nobody wants to be sued, and it would not be worth it to Omid Scobie to do this. Now, the Mail, not the Mail, but the publishing company, which is part of the Rupert Murdoch empire, they would likely, they could actually sue both, but Omid signed off on it, period. Whatever he signed off on, he signed off on. Of course, the tabloids are not going to give him any room to be as much a victim of this situation as the next person involved. They're going to say that he deliberately did it, whereas I say it was probably just a mistake. I don't think there was anything deliberate about it, because why the Netherlands? Why not another English-speaking country? I believe that is what was in the manuscript when he wrote the book. The lawyers said, take it out. And for whatever reason, the Dutch version just didn't get it. Or should I say, it was included. But I don't think that there was any malicious intent. And even if that were the case, Omid is not the one who sat on television and yelled it out. Yeah, you know what? Angelina, that makes so much sense. It does stink of a setup. Let me see. Sleeves to the Floor, made famous by Anne Boleyn. Thank you, Lorna Williams. I didn't realize that. Oh, that's one of the Boleyn. Well, she and her sister have been compared to the Boleyn sisters. Thank you for that. Yeah, I think it was a setup. I think that it's just possible that someone threw that in there, not Omid's fault, not the translator's fault, but it could have been someone at the publishing company. If that was something that happened deliberately, I would say that it probably came from someone down the line who wanted to make trouble. Um, Let's see. Linda Macon says, correct, it was Piers Morgan who spilled the beans in England. Yeah. I know we live in the information age. It's a different time and place, but there was a time when the what was it, Wallace Simpson was not known about in the United Kingdom. It was American newspapers that were having fun with the stories, and most people in the UK had no awareness of it. So when they decide to block information, they can be very effective at that. So kind of hard to do that nowadays, though. But still, Piers Morgan's the authority of his broadcast of his voice as a, I almost hate to call him a journalist, but his hoghead voice was enough to give it um, enough, what do you call it, credibility that when he said that, then people believed him. And maybe, you know what? Okay, so Kellyanne Phillips says sounds shady. Maybe they put it in there expecting that eventually somebody would run with the story and it just wasn't happening fast enough. It just wasn't happening fast enough. I would like to believe that it was an accident, but there is that possibility that someone who was trying to ruin things for Omid Scobie could have thrown it in there knowing that he would get the blame for it. So that is definitely a possibility. Yes, Lydia said they blackened the Dan Wooten story in the UK for a long time. Yeah, they wouldn't let people talk about that. When they want to block some information, they will do what they have to do. I just got to the part of the book where they talk about Christian Jones and Harry being threatened about his lawsuit, that they threatened to take away his security and his financial support. This was while they were still over there, by the way. And oh, I'm telling you, that was very difficult. But I'm listening to this, and the institution, which his family, his grandmother, is supposed to have been the head of, and they pretty much circled the wagons for Christian Jones and would give Harry no support. They would give Harry no support. They put Christian Jones, Jason Knopf, and to a lesser extent, but just the same, Simon Case. They put all of those people, and William, from what I read it, or well, what I've listened to from the book, William was fully aware of what they were doing to his brother. The Flyby, the oh, my brother's just not well, that little routine that they were running, it was all so deliberate, and Omid Scobie spells it out so clearly in the book. And I hate to say it again, you guys, but I'm gonna say it. um and of course, this is not to change anybody's point of view, but the book is given information that I don't believe was in Spare. I don't believe it was in the docuseries. It's like it sharpens the point. If the Spare and the docuseries was the sword, Omid Scobie has taken what is it, a pumice stone, and has sharpened it to a fine point. And I'm just blown away by what I'm listening to. That really got me. And when it's put in order, when it's laid bare like that, especially for someone like myself who has been consuming this for the past few years, I'm still impressed with how much detail was involved. So I just don't like to live in fear, right? I don't like to live in fear. And I hate to wring my hands in despair about how terrible something is going to be um, before you even find out what's involved, right? Everything doesn't have to be the nightmare. And I know we have all been affected by some of the dodgier things that have happened, but sometimes you just have to step out on faith. You have to believe. And it's not over. You know, I don't kid myself. It's not over. They are spinning out of control, trying to drag the Sussexes into it. So it's definitely not over. And the palace, William, Charles, Kate, Camilla, they have already proven that they'll do whatever they have to do to protect their images and to protect the institution, and sadly, to protect some of the courtiers in that institution. That's the part that really gets me. But I said a long time ago, even if Meghan was wielding an axe and running around Kensington Palace hacking at people, family is family. That's your brother's wife. If there's something like that going on, then try to get her some help. But instead, you turn against your brother. You turn against your sister in law. You turn against their unborn child, and then eventually both of their children, because the leaks never stopped. The briefing never stopped. And that's what Harry said. We gone a whole year and didn't say anything, and the leaks and the briefing continue. Yeah, Adrian Burrow, they are. They're foaming at the mouth, frothing at the mouth. Um, they're doing everything they can to try to, yeah, as Myra V says, sabotage. They're doing everything they can to try to sabotage this book, to try to downplay all of the rest of the things. So while we're talking about race, we're not talking about any of that other stuff. Um, but it's just like with the Oprah Winfrey interview. They Harry and Harry and Meghan never mentioned race. They never mentioned racism. None of that came from Harry and Meghan. Um, they actually, well, the tabloids were the ones that called it racism. Meghan said there was concerns, and apparently there were several conversations. And the aha is supposed to be the let me see, what was the big aha moment? That there was a discrepancy in the timing of things. And as they were saying on Hoghead's thing yesterday that we listened to, of course, you're going to yell, prove it. You want someone who has been probably shocked and in a state of dismay over the fact that racism was used in the first place. And when it comes to this, not just once, but on several occasions, um, and even if you decide that Meghan just has to be a liar, she's prone to lying. Um, so that means Harry and Meghan are both just flat out lying to try to tear down the institution. Harry's someone that you know, and you don't know to him to be a liar, but now he's the liar. And Meghan, someone who has been one of the most trustworthy and celebrated members of any social group or any workplace, now she has turned into this liar. Now she's this brutal bullying liar. So, you know, um, Dr. Mateo, he said that he agrees that Meghan and Harry may have made some mistakes along the way. And yes, we all make mistakes, but I don't care. I feel as though the bullying, the coercion, the mental games that the palace was playing, that his own brother, those stunts he was pulling on him, you got an entire machine going against two people and their unborn child. An entire machine, and then eventually two people and their infant child. All of the forces. You got the government, you got the royal family, which is still part of the government, which so you got the courts, you got the police, you got everybody, even the church, I would imagine. But you got everybody. Everything is on your side. You have the courtiers, you have the tabloids. Everything is going your way. And if they did make any mistakes, which I just don't agree that they have, I believe they acted in the best way that they could given the circumstances. But whatever the case may be, when you're under the threat of violence, even when you're under the threat of violence, when you have been threatened by government ministers, and your grandmother is the queen. You know, your father's the Prince of Wales, and you got these little people in the government threatening you, and they take the side of the henchmen. I don't care. I don't care. Whatever they feel the Sussexes may have done that was wrong or malicious, or what, I don't care. I don't care. You all pushed them into the corner, and they had to push back. Plain and simple. They had to push back. They were fighting for their survival. They were literally fighting for their survival. So, yeah, it's unfortunate that all of this happened, but it's not of their making. It's not of their making. It's not their fault that William and Kate were just unsuitable and unfit for task. And they still are. They have masked it, they have helped them build up their confidence here and there. But still, you got two people that are really do not want to do the work. They just want to be applauded and celebrated and then go home to their kids. They're not interested in doing the work. They do as they're told to do. Yeah, I'm really frustrated. I was just like listening to the last few chapters was tough, and I still got like an hour to go, and it's not going to be easy because it makes me mad all over again. It really does. Okay, let's get back to this dimwit. So Prince William and Kate Middleton all smiles after she's named one of the races, according to page 6. Then you take a look here. Why is Kate Middleton so silent? Well, I mean, when you have done things to other people like that, of course you stay quiet. She wasn't much of a talker in the first place. Let me see. Oh yeah, I'm sorry, that's from April the 13th, 2017. Oh, you know what? I got the wrong slides up here. Let me get out of this. I'm so sorry. Let me get out of this. All right, so there you go. This also happened. Very strange. So that is the crown princess of Norway, right? Isn't she for Norway? She's over there on the right side. William and Kate are supposed to do this receiving line or whatever it is. But those two people seem to have, I guess, turned their, Will and Kate seems to have forgotten that she's back there. I mean, I wish I could share the video with you, but she's kind of looking like, hello, I'm still here. Hello, aren't we here together? But Will and Kate are so involved with whatever it is they're, oh, sorry about that. They're so involved with whatever they're doing or whoever they're talking to, probably nervous, waiting for someone to ask them a question about being a racist or something. But they just kind of left her to her own devices. Yeah, and she's just like pacing around behind them, like, "Hello, I'm still here. I thought we were doing this together." It was very strange. It was very, very strange. So, yeah, something was weird about that. Let me see here. Oh, Lord. Kate's Uncle Gary Goldsmith slams Weasel Omid Scobie's tapestry of gibber, and the bunkers claim the Princess of Wales is racist. Well, you know it better than we do. You know it better than we do. I'm uh I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure that there's a story there. So okay, this is what I'm doing. I'm looking for that. I wonder if I could share this with you guys. Yeah, you know what I'm going to do. I'm going to share this with you. But yeah, it says here, that's how you host foreign royals in your country, by standing aside with backs turned, completely ignoring their presence, and of course, make sure you speak and go first because you are more important. Poor Victoria didn't even know what to do, let alone her husband. Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. It is so crazy. Okay, but I'm going to share that with you. Give me a second. Um, I'm feeling extra shady tonight. Yeah, so I'm gonna let that record, and I should have turned the sound down, but that's okay. But bear with me. I will share it with you guys because I am feeling just a mite shady tonight. Uh, I'm telling you guys that Will and Kate, the dynamic duo, formerly of the Fab Four, and this lasts for about 90 seconds, I think. Oh my god, I can't wait to share it with you. It's so awkward. It is so awkward. And they're just like inching up behind them trying to get their attention, and nothing. Oh Lord, they're awful. They are awful. So one of the courtiers is trying to fill in for them. Okay. I'm so shady. I'm so shady. I can't wait though. I cannot wait. This is like the, well, I was going to say this is the first time I've ever done something like this where I'm literally, but we all know that's not the case. This is not the first time. This is just one time. Okay. Oh, that came out perfect. Okay. So done, right? And then I send it to my PC and then I share it with you. Got it. All right. Let me see if y'all still there if you ran for the hills. Hold on, it's still loading. It is still loading. Ha! Got it. Got it.
actually very good job with They left me in the coldest part of the building. I'm sorry about that. When did you finish? When did you retire? When did you retire to? You know, it's still going. You're modelling in 95. That's incredible. That's good. Amazing. They make you travel around too much. They don't make you travel around too much. You like your travel? Well, it's fantastic. Well, you'll enjoy tonight. Some good accent. That's very good.
I love the outfit.
I don't have my heels. Oh yeah. Yeah. Have a nice night.
How ignorant! How ignorant can you be? How ignorant! You literally have the future queen and her consort for it's Norway or Sweden. I think it's Sweden. And that is Crown Princess Victoria. And they are literally waiting for you to have all this small talk. Oh my God. It's just, you know what? It's so much worse watching it the second time. It is so much more offensive the second time. It seems like you would have introduced them first. Only reason it may not be Kate is the question on skin tone was coherent. When is the last time you've heard Kate speak coherently? Justice for Mumble. Woo! Now that's a doozy. That is a doozy. Thank you so much for that. All power to the mumbles. That was just unbelievable. It was embarrassing. I'm embarrassed for them. I'm embarrassed for them that they thought so little of them that they just lingered there. And it's no better for the ladies that was talking to them that should have been like, well, we better let you go. And they were just doing the most. That was about a minute and a half of banter while your invited guests are oh my God, that's just so rude. So ignorant and rude. Ignorant. Yes, rude. Rude. So rude and ignorant. And wasn't William the one that was like having a fit because Kate was talking too long when they went to that wedding? He was the one like winding his hands up like, come on, come on, come on, come on. And now you're holding up the line, sir. Oh my goodness. I cannot believe that. I cannot believe that. That was just ignorant. Let me see. I'm trying to think. I don't think I have that video. Once again, it's on my other computer. I'm so frustrated by this. But yeah, it's on my other PC. The one that ain't working. But yeah, William was just like having a fit to get her to move along. And he's standing there holding. Oh, I do have it. I do. Yeah, well, at least they put her behind the candelabra. No wonder she was behind the candelabra. They thought it might be a repeat of that wedding. So, yeah, what a rude couple of people they are. Rude, rude, ignorant, rude. Okay, so let's get to the dress. Now that is the way the dress fits in the in the advertisement as worn by the very slender beautiful model. Um and of course, and then that's how Kate wore it. I mean, it's all puckered and everything. That is just strange that someone with that much wealth and resource, someone who obviously has a glam squad, would wear something out the house like that. And of course, I have to point these things out because if it was Meghan, they would never, I mean, it would be front page, like that awkward touch on Megan's back by her assistant. They talked about that for days. So I feel totally justified if we're going to rate the performance of royal princesses, then I am obliged to point out the puckers in the gown, right? And it gets even more interesting. So again, there's not, and look at how fast she flashed that smile. At first, her face was all like twisted, her mouth was askew, and then when she comes around, she gets into character, right? And William takes her by the wrist and not the hand, which is still kind of strange to me. But keep calm and carry on. Royal race crisis. What royal race crisis? Ugh. These people are giving me gas. TB says, I'm naming King Charles, Camilla, Will, Kate, the flagtitious four. Well, thank you so much for naming and shaming them. Thank you, TB. And oh, and by the way, thank you so much for being a member. Okay, so there's a clearer photo right there. Now, I kind of feel like I've seen this before. Um, when they went to Boston, it was the same thing. The designer called it a gown. Kate turns it into a windsock. I can't seem to forget you. Your windsock stays on my mind. I can't never forget you. Your windsock stays on my mind. Yes, Kate the human windsock, just floundering and flipping and flopping about. Yes, she has turned into a windsock yet again. Annie Bennett, thank you for 17 months membership. That is incredible. Thank you so much for that. And thank you. Happy Saturday, all. Have a blessed day. Yes. And happy birthday again, Church Nelly. I'm so sorry I didn't make a card for you. It kind of snuck up on me. But happy birthday again, Church Nelly. And of course, that is the Boston. Now, remember, I said the other day, Kate has this very odd trait where the backs of, when she walks, the back of her hand kind of leads her, and you can see it clearly right there. She shows the back of her hands first. Maybe that's like some type of thing from Buckleberry that is indigenous to the people of Buckleberry, but she lets the back of her hands lead her wherever she goes. Um, yes, Church Nelly, I saw it. I saw your nacho card. Yeah, that's why I didn't do one because she beat me to it. But yes, there is another example of the Windsor windsock. It even has that same goofy look on the face, right? I mean, just in case you're confused, Kate's on the left side. Just so you know, Kate is on the left. Same here. Kate is on the left side. Just in case there's any confusion. Oh yeah, just in case. Uh, you know what, Church Nelly? Now that you mention it, can I just recycle the one from last time? Didn't I make you one last time? Let me see. If I have it, it's likely still there. I don't see one. And I thought I had made one. I had made you something with Nacho before. Anyway, I don't see it. It's been built up too much. But yeah, let's wait and see what happens. Let me see here. Oh yeah, that last time it was a get well card. I see it now. Good work too. Good work. If I do say so myself. Let me see. I'll show it to you. Well, I mean, you've seen it already. Mm, all right. Oh man, I got to get my other computer back up. I'm gonna have to go. I just hate to go to the Apple store. That place is so busy, and you got to make an appointment. There you go. There you go. Get well soon, Church Nelly. The Sussex squad loves you. Aw, I made that. Okay. Yeah, so for some reason, I think making a birthday card is going to be so easy, I promise you, if it's not done before I get off of here. All right. So, all right. Okay. So, that's that for the windsock. Now, hopping right back on that same petty train, it looks like Lady Macbeth buys her wigs and extensions from the $2 store. The Batman dress doesn't help either. Maybe set up a GoFundMe page. Lady Macbeth, Batman dress, hashtag Kate. That was a tweet from one of the squatties. You know how the squatties are. Sometimes we can dish it out just as well as we could take it. And then, of course, if that wasn't enough, they wanted to make sure that you could see the telltale signs that there may be some type of, you know, prosthetic hair. See there? And it's not the first time. Kate's been doing extensions for a while. So, in the spirit of full disclosure, and because it's likely in the public interest, um, you know how they like to print those articles where they dissect whatever Megan had around her waist, and she has a sticker on her arm. And well, as I am a royal reporter and I am petty, I feel justified in sharing these clip-ons and stick-ons and glued on extensions because that's what we royal reporters do. If it's good enough for the Daily Mail, then surely I'm okay and justified, right? Okay, just making sure. Now, the other day we were discussing the former first ladies. Now, they don't actually name any of the first ladies, but remember, I told you they mentioned that, oh, finally, some class in the White House. Well, I will let you decide who these Lego figures represent. There's one first lady who seems to be of African descent, and there's another with blonde hair. There's one with a little darker, like strawberry brown blonde hair, and there's one with white hair. Uh, And then, of course, there's the first lady that is gripping a pole and dancing about in some, Lego stiletto. Hmm. So you decide which first lady is which. Now, I can't be sure, but I'm just going to go out on a limb and say the one in black, that is Michelle Obama. And the one with the light blue and white hair, Hillary. And then the one in the blue gown back there, I'm going to say Jill, maybe. And then the one with the white on, that's got to be Miss Laura. Miss Laura? Miss Laura. I don't know why I always say that, but every time I see Laura Bush, I always think of like Gone with the Wind or something like that. Miss Laura, Miss Laura. I don't know nothing about birthing no babies, Miss Laura. Miss Laura. Miss Laura, they're about to take Tara. Miss Laura. Miss Laura. Oh, thank you, Lizette. Thank you so much for that. Well, I mean, we have to get to the bottom of this because the people have a right to know if the royal family is in the practice of using hair extensions, right? If we have to know about the Duchess of Sussex wearing some sticker on her arm or a weight belt or whatever, then we have a right to know whether or not our royal family is involved in hair extensions. So, um, either that or I'm just petty. So, I don't know if you guys know this, but there is an interview with Omid Scobie and brother James O'Brien. I haven't had a chance to listen to it yet because I'm still trying to get through the book. But there's an interview with Omid Scobie and James O'Brien. So if you get a chance to, that is, I guess it's on, is it Spotify? You know, of all things, I didn't bother with the link, but let me get the link for you guys. Let me grab the link. It's on something called Global Player Podcast. I don't know what that is, but oh Lord, they're asking me. Oh, can you just play it? It looks like they're asking me to create an account or sign in, but I think it might be another way to watch it. Let me see if I can find a different source for you. But yeah, but either way, you don't want to miss it if you can watch it. I suppose it's up to you. Oh, they have it on Apple. They have it on Apple Podcasts, so you don't have to. Well, anyway, let me get the link for you guys. If you have the Apple, well, let me see if I can play it. Yeah, I don't know if I'm. All right, all right. I don't know if I'm subscribed to Apple Podcast or not, but let me see where it says share. There we go. I'm going to share it. Copy the link. Talk myself through this. Go over here. And hopefully that works. There we go. And I want to pin that to the top of the chat. And then I am going to click on it to see if I can't make it work myself. That's what I'm going to do. Oh, wow. Okay. No, that, all right. I was seeing, I thought someone else had mentioned how the Swedish royals were ignored by Will and Kate. But you know, they're not going to give them a hard time. You guys know that already. They're not going to give them a hard time. But they do treat them with kid gloves. They get away with everything. Oh yes, okay. So that link does work. So if you guys want to watch that, also, how about if I put that on the community tab? I'll do that right now before I forget. I'll put it on the community tab, and then that way you will have it. But yeah, I'm curious to watch it myself because I haven't had an opportunity. But I'm putting the link on the community tab, and I'm going to do a screenshot of that so you'll know what it is. Yes, yes, yes. That's what I'll do. I'm trying to think. Do they still let us share stuff like this? I hope so. Oh, it worked. It worked. All right. So if you can't mark it down right now or save it or whatever, it's on the community tab. So when you go to the uh, Royal Sussex menu and you see community at the top, you can just go there and you can find it like that. Also, I put on the community tab the other day the Omid Scobie interview with Salon Magazine. He's sitting down with Salon. I haven't watched that either. So if you don't have the book, you don't have access to the book, but you want to hear more directly from Omid Scobie, you can go to the community tab. And the last two things I've posted there has to do with an interview with Omid. Okay. So hopefully that is helpful to you. Let's see here. I did not see the pic before commenting that the Wiglet needs a GoFundMe page. I'm interested in plagiarism. Well, you know, some of these things kind of write themselves. I mean, it's like it's unconscious. You look at that poor girl's hair, and something just screams out, um, she needs a GoFundMe page so that she can get some proper hair extensions. But yeah, this thing with the wigs, I want to. Well, you know what? Maybe Princess. Well, the Queen wore wigs. Let me just be fair. The Queen was wearing wigs. Remember, the guy broke into the Queen's bedroom and he said he was so surprised that he saw a wig on the Queen's dressing table. So even the Queen was wearing wigs. Um, I think it's too bad the guys do not wear hair pieces. Really. I think all of them should. Why not? Why give in to what do you call it? To genetics. Go ahead and get yourself some lace fronts. I think well Harry don't need a lace front, William do. But yeah, William should go ahead and get himself a little lace front and a silk press. I would love to see William with a lace front and a silk press. Wouldn't you? Would you like to see William with a lace front and a silk press? That would be so perfect for him. Yeah, give him some bangs, or how do they say it in the UK? Some fringes. Put some fringe in the front, maybe, or some bangs. Yeah, William needs a little lace front. And you know how he's so jealous. But you know, I'm also wondering exactly how long has Kate been wearing these wigs and extensions? Celibacy were the ones who first called it. I didn't realize, but Celibacy was saying that she's been wearing wigs and extensions and such. And you know who else was wearing wigs back in the day, and I didn't know it? I looked at that interview with Mary Tyler Moore and Oprah Winfrey, and Oprah was saying that she was such a fan of the Mary Tyler Moore show, the young single woman working for a television station which is, how Megan's, what am I saying, Megan? How Oprah's life was trekking at that point. She was the young career woman trying to make it in television. And so she really looked up to Mary Tyler Moore. And she was even trying to get the hairstyle. And Mary Tyler Moore told her, well, that was a wig. And, you know, now that I look back at it, I can never not see it because I love the Mary Tyler Moore show. That was such a good show. Um, but yeah, I couldn't believe that she was wearing wigs back in the day. But yeah. And what about Kim Fields on Facts of Life? Tootie, Tootie. Mrs. Garrett always say, Tootie, Tootie. Well, Tootie, oh my God, Tootie, they gave her the biggest wigs. That little girl, half of her height was the wig. Lottie is past my. Oh, I thought you were saying that one of Kate's hair extensions had gone past your bed. I was going to say, call for help. Try to like push it out the door or whatever. But you're saying it's past your bedtime. I thought you were trying to say one of Kate's hair wigs or extensions or whatever had passed your bed. I'm sorry. At a glance, I got confused. I'm like, oh my goodness, now our hair is running past people's bed. Well, good night, Lottie. Thank you so much for spending some time with us here on Royal Sussex. Oh, yeah, Adrian Burrow. Yeah, she was wearing wigs on the Mary Tyler Moore show. And I don't know about Dick Van Dyke, but I know on the Mary Tyler Moore show, she was wearing wigs. That's what she told Oprah. And now but you know what? I think a lot of those shows, people were wearing wigs. I just never noticed it before. And even Downton Abbey, even Thomas the butler wears a wig, even though he has a full head of hair, but he wears a wig. So it's a lot of those shows now where just to get the hair right and just to save time, they just literally keep the hair set and ready to go. And as soon as you get there, they slap that little party hat on your head and off you go to the filming. Connie Balmer! Thank you, Connie Balmer. Connie Balmer, you are spoiling me. You are literally spoiling me. But thank you so much for that. And thank you for being a member of Royal Sussex. All right. Let me see. Oh, Regine living single. Yeah, she made it she like that wasn't that like one of the running jokes is that she had those wigs. I mean, there's nothing wrong with wearing a wig. There's nothing wrong with it. But you would just think that the Princess of Wales would have a better, something. But Princess Diana, she never bothered with, but Diana had such beautiful hair. Diana had amazing, amazing hair. Let's see, where is that photo? Yeah, these Spencer women, they usually have great hair. Let me see here. There we go. Yeah, Diana. Back in the day, it was like the who's who of who feathered their hair. Diana had the best feathered hair, followed by George Michael, and there was a couple occasions where I saw Aretha Franklin had her hair feathered, and I mean, oh, and Oprah feathered her hair back in the day. Yeah, Oprah had that feathered hairstyle, and every time she would talk, she would shake her hair to make sure that you could see it. On the Oprah Winfrey Show, Monday at 9. Guests of the Oprah Winfrey Show stay at the Omni All Suites Hotel, located just footsteps from the Magnificent Mile. All right. Okay, so let me take that away. And okay, so there we go. The Telegraph says Prince Harry and Meghan urged to back King amid racism row. Duke and Duchess told to end deafening silence as supporters come forward to defend royals after fallout from Omid Scobie book. But one of the squatties very sharply pointed out, and I do agree, that let's see, it says here the royals maintained a dignified silence when Archie was likened to a chimpanzee, when Lily was called Georgina Floydina. Yeah, Georgina Floydina. And when Jeremy Clarkson said Meghan should be paraded naked through the streets and pelted with excrement, Harry and Meghan should do the same. Maintain a dignified silence. Exactly. Thank you, Squatty. Royal baby leaves hospital. Yeah, that all on in every instance, the royal family did nothing. They did nothing to speak up or defend the Sussexes. And I hope and I pray that more people will make it a point to share details just like that, just like that. I wish I could do the TikTok, but it'd be too much with the Royal Sussex trying to do the TikTok. But um, yeah, if someone has a nice TikTok following that could really share those. I mean, there are some people on TikTok that are really good, and then there's just some that their heart is in the right place, but they just don't make those connections as fast as some of the people who are not on TikTok. So, unfortunately, the people on the Twitter that have all of those clever comments and stuff like this one, they don't actually have a TikTok. But if they did, I'm telling you, that would do so much to change the narrative that seems to constantly fall in favor of the various houses of Windsor, which does not include the Sussexes. So, but yeah, I mean, that's a nice little comeback right there. I love it. Yeah, let's see. TMCD says they never once backed the Sussexes. That is so true. Never once. They always say, oh, well, we have all been through it, my boy. My darling boy, we've all been through it. But it's just not the same. You have a race component. There's no way in the world that Jeremy Clarkson would have said to parade a English rose through the streets of the country or town or something like that, throwing excrement. He would not have said that. There's no way in the world they would have used that Georgina Floydina. And that right there to me is a physical threat if you don't understand what it is. But that right there is like a physical threat. And of course, comparing a child to the chimpanzee. How much more racist can you be? That is racist. And yet the tabloids, the same tabloids that they side with against Prince Harry, they side with the tabloids. Those tabloids gaslight, obfuscate, downplay, lie. They do all of those things to change the narrative. That's because nobody's threatening their children. That's because nobody's being racist with their children. King Charles dealt major blow as support for monarchy plummets in new poll. King Charles may be suffering another major blow this week following new figures that show support for the monarchy has plummeted. Well, couldn't have happened to a nicer sovereign. Uh, so, what else is new? What else is new? And you know, if for some reason their fortunes change abruptly and they find themselves struggling to maintain the monarchy, I say they had it coming. I say they got their just desserts because in this modern time, this modern day and age, there is no logical reason why they show such a lack of support, or should I say, no support with the Sussexes. There's no logical reason for that. Um, that one of my siblings or my parents would take the side of the of a tabloid over me. A parent. And it's not just Charles. We almost forget about Thomas because he's been so quiet, but for a change. But yeah, siblings and parents. If there was anybody who would have ever said to me before Harry and Meghan got married, before I knew as much as I've learned at this point, um, that not only the parents but the siblings would do such a thing, I would have found it hard to believe. I wouldn't know how to process information like that. I would have thought, oh no, that I don't. I mean, why would you do that to your own sibling? Why would you do that to your own brother? Um, well, and here we are, and here we are. So uh, it's disgusting. It really is. But the things people do, siding with a tabloid over your child or over your sibling, of all things, it defies logic. It defies logic. Let's see here. Okay. All right. Let's move on. Just take a look at a couple of your comments here. Yeah, the media's attempt to protect the royal family is destroying it. I pray to live to see the downfall. Yes, yes, that is the ultimate outcome. That is the ultimate outcome. They don't deserve peace of mind. They really do not deserve peace of mind. Not for the stunts that they pulled. Okay. Oh, Tess Hudson, thank you so much for being here. Rosamund Gatewood says dignified silence is the way to go. Plus, they have already said that Meghan is the informant. Yeah, they've already blamed her. So why even say anything? They just want to keep it going. They want to keep distracting from the other stuff that's in the book, right? The diversionary tactic, and also they're getting clickbait. They are making money from this. They are making money. They've been losing a bit of money as of late. So this gives them the chance to make some money. I mean, some of the views of the videos I've posted have gone up because there's so much interest. So let me see. Oh, okay, Rory B. Well, thank you so much for that. All right, let's move on. Now, not my king. Oh, you know what? I was looking for that article so I could give you some stats from that article. Give me a second here. And I distracted myself. Aha, there we go. Oh, I've seen that before. I'm sorry. It seemed like it should have been right there, but I'm looking for that article about the. I want to see what the numbers are. That's what I forgot to do, was to share the numbers from the plummeting support. Or as I like to say, the fun part. I don't want to miss sharing the fun part. Oh man. And of course they're gonna blame the Sussexes for it. And it's Omid Scobie's book. It's Omid Scobie's right to write the book. And like I said, it was never going to be without risk that the book was published. So, you know, there's that. It was never going to be without risk. How much is the royal family worth? Well, I don't think you can calculate that. Where is my article? Oh man, I'm so sorry for this, but give me a second. I will find it. The subtle way that Camilla and Sophie are showing they're united against Omid Scobie scandal. Well, you know what? I'm glad that they're naming Omid Scobie. I don't like that they're going after him, but don't blame Meghan, because the things that they have accused, or that Omid Scobie has mentioned that the royal family has done, I don't believe that he's lying, even if one or two of those things were inaccurate, which I don't think they are. I think all of them are correct. But even if one or two of them were inaccurate, they wouldn't give the Sussexes that much grace for being right or being wrong, or there's some type of mistake or misunderstanding. They wouldn't give them the benefit of the doubt. They would drag them from here to Harlem. Prince William tell signs he's suppressing anger during royal visit. Oh my God, I gotta check that one out. Telltale sign he's suppressing anger. See there, I'm looking for one thing and finding all kind of stuff. If it's anything that seems remotely critical of them, of course, I want to check it out, because there's always so much stuff stacked up against our faves. So anything that seems like it's remotely critical of them, I'm here for it, because they're always after Harry and Meghan. And I could see how something like, well, not something, but all of these things, they must be some very, very strong people, that they are able to withstand, or at least survive at what they've been going through. Williams exasperated by cruel narrative. Um, you shouldn't have done what you done. You shouldn't have done whatever it is you've done, which we know what it is, but you're guilty of it, so that's what happens. You're guilty. Um, I mean, I have no doubt. I don't doubt any of it. I don't doubt any of it. Having gotten through all but an hour of the book, I believe everything that Omid said about that family in that book. Is a lot of it is stuff that we know already, and and it may seem like it's revisiting or rehashing, but I just hope that a wider swathe of the public will have a chance to learn what we've learned. I do. So maybe if I search for it by title, King Charles dealt major blow. Uh-oh. I gotta go back here. What is this I'm seeing on the chat? Is someone hurt or injured or something? Let me get over there so I can see what's happening. Give me a second. I'm multitasking. Pardon me. Okay. Copy that. Go over here. Put that there. I am like a one-man band over here right now. Copy text. Go over here. And and that's what I'm looking for. Okay, so I'll get to that in just a second. Let me see what is going on over here. So, still in the ER, waiting to be called. Nurse advising me to stay because prior hit. Ooh, Deb, what happened? What happened? Oh, okay. Let me go back and see what happened. Head injuries are nothing to play with, and they say you don't want to go to sleep. If you have a head injury, you don't want to go to sleep. If there's any possibility, go straight to the hospital. Get some emergency care. Okay. All right. So I'm looking back, but I'm not seeing. Oh, I fainted in the grocery store today. Oh my goodness. That is scary. Well, did you bump your head? Because if you have, then you are in the right place. You need to be there and let them know. Let them know. Well, I hope you feel better. Let's see. Rosalind Gatewood says, Baron, you know they're trying to link this book to Meghan anyway. If they could prove it, they would lose their minds. Hogg had already put a hit out on Harry. Oh, you mean with the that that thing he was that what was this? Some kind of Greek quote or whatever? Yeah. Or was it some Roman fable or something, Roman history? Yeah, what's his name? Piers Morgan, he has given a master class of survival. It really is. This is how you survive. You make things that are not about you by putting yourself in the center of it, by possibly breaking the law, invite people onto your show to verbally chastise you and put you in your place. I mean, it was so predictable. I'm not surprised at Piers Morgan because from everything that I've learned about him in the past few years, that is how he operates, and that's what Jobo said. Robert Jobson said, I've been working with him, or I worked with him 30 years ago, and he knows how to put himself in the center of the story. He makes it about himself, and he never lied. That is so true. Okay. Oh, did I go too far? Yeah, I'm supposed to be there. Okay, so it says support for the monarchy has plummeted to a major blow to King Charles, according to new poll. New figures from, you know what? This is that same thing that I shared the other day. They're just now getting to it over here. 34% of Britons now say an elected head of state. Yeah, all of that for nothing. We already talked about that. You know what? You know what? I just took another look at Camilla with that. Is that red velvet? You know, she looks nice. She looks nice. This is the second time that I have to say for Camilla, she looks nice. And she's wearing red. Charles is wearing the red sash. So they are doing like the Sussexes. Charles has on the red sash and the red metal thing around his neck. He has this whatever that badge is that's got mostly red on it. And Camilla is wearing red and accented in red. So when Kate came in wearing that red cape, she really was coming for Camilla. She really was coming for her. But yeah, I have to say that old bag of bones looks kind of nice here. I mean, if you kind of squint your eyes and obstruct a bit of your, you know, of your, yeah, if you glance really fast and try not to, well, anyway, that's probably one of the nicest that I've best that I've ever seen her. That is probably one of the best. I cannot believe it. I never looked at it closely until just now, but uh, for Camilla, she looks good. She looks good. I mean, there's some structure to the dress. The stolen diamonds and rubies look good. Yeah, she's accessorized and everything. She looks good. That's to be fair. That's as nice as I've ever seen her look. I can't believe it. Usually she looks like she can't wait to go home and give herself an enema, but in this instance, she actually looks decent. I'm not saying she should play hard to get, and as soon as they can, turn the lights down and just use the candlelight. But that's about as good as it gets. Oh, oh, do you want to see it? I'll grab it. I'll grab it for you. I will grab it for you. I mean, I don't hate these people. That's about as good as I've ever seen her look. That and when she looked like Endora from Bewitched on the trip to France. Let me see here. I will grab that. Yeah, she really put forth an effort. Well, they say it takes a village, and I'm sure that not only did it take a village, but they probably went to the next town over to get some more help. Yes, not only did they yeah, okay, I'm sorry. I'm getting it right now. I'm getting it right now. There you go. Yeah. I'm sorry. I was looking at an article. I had stepped out of the chat, but yeah, that's about that's she looks good. She almost has a waistline. She almost has her waist cinched, and I'm liking the red velvet. And yeah, she looks good. I have to say she looks good. They've tinkered with the Photoshop, but she looks good. For Camilla. For Camilla. I have to say, for Camilla, she looks good. Yeah. Um okay, I don't want to say anything else. But although it's hard for me to not say it, but I'm not going to say anything else. But she looks good for Camilla. And look at how they're coordinated. See how they're coordinated? That is very Harry and Meghan, the way they're coordinated. Usually they don't coordinate like that in the royal family. And that was kind of something that Meghan brought to the royal family, is coordinating with your partner. So as you can see, Camilla decided to dust off the old tiara and coordinate with Charles. Connie Bomber says, yes, from the shoulders to the waist. Yeah. Recollections may vary. Yeah, I understand. just saying for Camilla, she looks okay. Yeah, I can't believe it. I can't believe it. But this is like what the second time I've actually admitted that she looks good, and she does. She looks very nice for Camilla in a very and as you can see, whoever did the Photoshop, they have just really taken about a century off of her, right? And Charles has his cherry lip gloss. Charles is still using that cherry lip gloss. Oh man. I'm just giving credit where credit is due. She looks good for Camilla. Oh. Well, let me keep going before we have a mutiny on our hands. I bet she still smell like some old cigarettes. Okay, so we talked about that. Oh, and so right here, one of the squatties managed to do a contrast showing the type of connection that the Duchess of Cambridge, now the Princess of Wales. Oh, now she's the Duchess of You know what? I can call her the Duchess of Cornwall instead of calling her the Princess of Wales. She is the Duchess of Cornwall. So just so you can see the contrast, the Duchess of Cornwall at the top with a group of children who seem, shall we say, less than enthusiastic to be with her. And then, of course, there's Meghan with the very common touch, just like her mother in law, Princess Diana, just like her husband, Prince Harry. That same very common touch, that connection, that unparalleled connection that the Sussexes, just like Princess Diana, that connection that they have. So very, very sweet. Cherry lip gloss with the plumping serum. Oh, wait. Oh, you know what? I'm looking for the picture. I have to do it over here. There we go. Oh, yes, they are kind of plumped. He almost has a bottom lip. He does. He almost has a bottom lip. Okay, come on. Come on. All right, I see it. I see it. Could you imagine? Could you imagine if one of the courtiers actually goes to Camilla tomorrow and like shows the Royal Sussex on their cell phone? Your Majesty, you won't believe it. Royal Sussex, yes, that bloody American, Royal Sussex, the that silly Yank. He said you look good, Your Majesty. I mean, for you. Yes, Royal Sussex said, for Camilla, you actually look good for Camilla in a very unexpected, strangely accurate, but yeah, for you. Oh man. Okay. Okay, let me get rid of those two. Um Cold War Steve. Cold War Steve. Cold War Steve created that image you see on the right there. As you know, Liz Truss told Charles that he couldn't go to the COP, whatever it was last time, but he managed to get there. He gave some speech about the environment or whatever, in competition with his son. And I'm not sure what the horse is for, but with Cold War Steve, you really have to interpret things. Um, Recollections may vary, but for some reason, he threw a stone horse in there, a hard, crusty, rigid stone beast. He threw in there, so I'm not sure. But anyway, there's Charles, Rishi Sunak, and oh gosh, is that first minister from Scotland? Maybe, I don't know. I don't know who those other people are, but it looks like they're in a pub and having a bit of a fight or something like that. Also, I want you to take a close look. I believe this meeting is in Greece, right? Notice that Charles is wearing a necktie with the Greek flag on it. You see that? You can just barely make out the pattern, but you can see he's wearing that cherry lip gloss, and he's also wearing a necktie that seems like it has the Greek flag on it. Yeah, that is an insult to Uncle Fester and Grandpa on the Monsters. Oh man. Oh, do we have a troll? You know I love to mess with the trolls. Who's the troll? You know I love to get into the psychology and mess with those trolls. So, Royal Space split beyond repair. Of course they do. Leave it to the tabloids to say something positive. I'm being sarcastic, of course. BBC named King as royal at the center of race claim in Scobie's book. An hour later, strained Charles has to make climate speech to the world. His relationship with Harry and Meg has surely reached its endgame. That's clever. See how that works out? They fit Endgame in there. That was clever of them. Now, let's go on to some good news, shall we? Something positive, something away from all of that confusion. Okay, it's beginning to look a lot like Invictus. Everywhere you go. It's beginning to look a lot like Invictus Team USA Christmas. Thanks to the White House for helping the team to get into the spirit with a trip to the National Christmas Tree lighting last night. As a matter of fact, since everything's happened in Gaza, I have, you've barely heard me mention President Joe Biden because I'm not pleased with him right now. Just so you know, Biden has got on my nerves. Somebody I truly, truly respected, someone I have been throwing so much support behind, has really let me down. But let me, oh, do I have it? Oh, Lord. Okay, so I don't see it. Oh, there we go.
That's what I see all across America, including tonight. Joining us are 43 members of Team USA who represented our nation at the Invictus Games this past September. Give them a hand. Jill and Prince Harry went to the first Invictus Games in 14 and Invictus Games in Ontario. I was there in 16 in Toronto. Anyway, there's been great effort that we've seen. And you know, these athletes were incredible. Wounded warriors from service branches, every service branch, in the essence of who we are as Americans. We look to one another and we look out for one another. We leave no one behind. And for our best, we are united at our best.
Okay,
because we're good people. That's what I see all across America, including tonight. Joining us are 43 members of Team USA who represented our nation at the Invictus Games this past September. Give them a hand. Jill and Prince Harry went to the first Invictus Games in 14 and Invictus Games in Ontario. I was there in 16 in Toronto. Anyway, there's been great effort that we've.
Okay, so there you go. That was a shout out to Prince Harry from the president that has caused me a great deal of disappointment. And of course, yeah. Um, although I have to say I understand the situation, but still it doesn't feel good. Um, but I'm gonna have to do some soul searching. That's what it's called for. Cause but anyway, nice shout out for the team Invictus. Okay.
I can tell
He's
you, I'm happy
charming.
he's married because
He's
she spent too
charming.
much time with him. I don't know. I'm glad he's married. Been involved in the Invictus
Yeah.
games with Prince Harry from
Yeah.
the beginning.
Yeah, can you tell us anything about Prince Harry?
I can tell you,
He's
I'm happy he's
charming.
married because
He's
she spent too
charming.
much time with him. I don't know. I'm glad he's married.
All right. So there you go. Yeah. Yeah, I know, Marshall. It's a tough position to be in. I can't even explain, and I won't try to get into um why things are the way they are, but it wouldn't matter who was in the White House when it comes to that. And don't want to get into a conspiracy, but it is hard to explain to other people, let alone explain it to myself. But it is what it is, and hopefully, as I'm so optimistic, I hope something good will come out of all of the horror, if possible. I hope something good will come out of it. Okay, so moving on. Oh, you know what, guys? This is the last slide. This is the last one. Our last word for today. So many people love you. Don't focus on the people who don't. Yes, that's it for today. So many people love you. Don't focus on the people who don't. There's so much love in this world. So if you're in a bad relationship, if you're being mistreated by your own blood relatives, I'm not saying don't talk to those people ever again, but don't waste your time. Wish them the best and move on, because there's people out there who will love you for you, that will accept you for who you are and not who they want you to be. And those are the ones that you need to be with. You don't want to be with someone that's trying to change you for their sake or anybody's sake. You got to want that change yourself. So be who you are and not who you were, and all of that other stuff. If somebody accuses you of having been kidnapped by a bunch of rogue psychotherapists and shamans and analysts or whatever, social media, not social media, but social workers, yeah. If someone accuses you of having been brainwashed by therapists, just ignore that person. If that person would rather work with the tabloid media than be a sibling to you, send them your best and move on. It ain't worth the fight. Yeah, it's not worth the fight. So, anyway, thank you so much, you guys. Thank you all for being here. Love you guys. Thank you for watching Royal Sussex. I'm going to play that video at the end here. Oh, did she just die, Sandra Day O'Connor? Did she just die? I thought she died already. Or am I confusing her with somebody else? Let's see here. Sandra Day O'Connor. Ah, yeah, she did just die. Was it Ronald Reagan? Yeah, Ronald Reagan put her in there. Let me see. How old was she? She was born in 1930. So she had to be, what, 93 years old, was it? Oh, wow. I still remember when she went in office. She was the first woman on the Supreme Court, right? Oh yeah, it is 93. Sandra Day O'Connor. During a crucial period in American law when abortion, affirmative action, sex discrimination, and voting rights were on the docket, she was the most powerful woman in the country. Wow. Okay. And only 10 years older. Wait, not 10, but 12 years older than our president. That's comforting, right? Wow. Sandra Day O'Connor. I thought she died some time ago, to be honest with you, but I guess she had only just stepped down. Anyway, I liked her. She most of the time she was on the right side of history, I must say. She wasn't what you call it. She wasn't one of those what do you call those right winger type of people. Oh, that's a nice contrast in photos. I think I'll save that one. Okay, you guys, I am going to go so I can finish with Brother Omid Scobie. Got to finish that one. I don't know if you guys can hear that. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but I was just looking at that video. Your Royal Highness, have you met your niece yet? Oh, I haven't yet met her, but I can't wait to meet her. Oh. Remember when she was with Jill Biden and she was wearing pink? Your Royal Highness, have you met your niece yet? Oh. She about as phony as she could be. Yes, we are going to Ginger Avenger. I'm still here. I'm so sorry. I got distracted looking at some other stuff when I was looking at the Sandra Day O'Connor. Yes, she was just lying. Oh, oh. Okay, yes. Let me do this video first for the World AIDS Day. Again, I am done, you guys. This is a very touching and emotional video, so I don't want to kill your buzz, but it's one I made some time ago for to celebrate Princess Diana's birthday. And in the video, I think this is I hope it's the right one where Harry talks about his mother. But anyway, I'm gonna play that and then the Ginger Avenger, and then we're out of here.
My dear friend Prince Seso and I founded Centre 16 years ago in honor of our mothers, with a mission to support many of the most vulnerable young people on the planet and to give them care and help so that they can thrive. In Sesotho, the language of the Basotho, the World Centre means forget me not. Next week is the 25th anniversary of my mother's death, and she most certainly will never be forgotten. I want it to be a day filled with memories of her incredible work and love for the way that she did it, I want it to be a day to share the spirit of my mum with my family, with my children who I wish could have met her. Every day, I hope to do her proud. She was tireless in her work to support and destigmatize those experiencing HIV and AIDS. Fittingly, her favorite flowers were forget-me-nots. I hope we can remember my mother's legacy by recommitting to those that we serve, whoever and wherever they may be.